Food is one of the best attractions at any Disney park. I mean, there are so many options to choose from. There are over 200 places to eat at Disney World alone.
Yep, and from corn dogs to five-star cuisine, from the festivals to the dining plans, in this video, we're gonna break down the questions we get most often about eating at Disney. Chicken tenders, hot dogs, and things shaped like Mickey. Is that really it? Yeah, that is one of the questions we get most often. We joke a lot about how we don't eat theme park food, which is kind of those cliched things that people always think it's just, Mickey-shaped things or pretzels or hot dogs or burgers or fries, fried everything, and pizza slices. When we go to Disney, it's not just that there are lots of food options. We go there for the food. When we're home and we're trying to figure out what restaurants we want to go to in our town to have dinner that night, we wish we could choose the restaurants we go to in the Disney parks because the food is top shelf.
Listen, there's park food and then there's Disney food. And it is a scientific fact that anything Mickey-shaped tastes better, no matter what it is. But we don't go there for the park food. We go there for the special food. I like to try as many things as possible. So I'm usually the one turning down reservations for restaurants because I want to be able to eat at as many different carts as possible and to try as many different bites as I can get into. And I know that if we sit down and have a big meal, that's just going to take up a lot of real estate that I want to be able to designate to different things.
What your tastes are, you're going to find it. If you want chicken tenders, there's all sorts of them, but I'm telling you, all the times I've been to a Disney park, I've never had a chicken tender. The whole time. I've never had a slice of pizza.
But I have had bone marrow.
But we have had bone marrow. What are the dining plans? And more importantly, are they worth it?
Yes.
No. Well, I mean, it depends on your... I mean, yes?
No? Well,
sometimes?
I guess it depends.
I'm kind of hungry right now, actually. The dining plans we're talking about Disney World. There isn't a dining plan that comes with Disneyland in California. So for Disney World, we're talking about the dining plans. And there's two basic ones. At the time we're recording this, that's kind of the difference between the two plans is one gets you those table service meals each day and the other one doesn't include those. Now, to be clear, you don't have to have a dining plan to do a table service meal. Anyone can make a reservation. I make those reservations for you. So it's not like if you don't have the dining plan, then you have no access to the nice sit-down restaurants. You do. You just need to make a separate reservation for it and pay for it out of pocket however you want to. That sit-down table service meal is kind of the fundamental difference between those two dining plans. We were talking about how if we were going to Disney World with our 3 teenagers, what would we think of the dining plan for that?
Yeah, I think all 3 of them would really take advantage of the dining plan. And maybe that's one of the times that we would do a dining plan for them and not for us if we wanted to eat a little bit different. But it's definitely more appealing when you're traveling with a bigger group or if you're traveling with kids.
If you're going as a group, you're bringing your kids or whatever, and all of you want your 3 meals a day and you're going to each order your own thing and you're each going to finish your thing, clean your plate, then the meal plan is fantastic. If you don't really need all those meals, if you tend to share food across the table and no one really finishes any one particular thing, then you're going to find yourself with extra credits at the end, or you're going to find yourself throwing out food, neither of which are great. One of the biggest advantages of the dining plan is budgeting. If you are able to get everyone to kind of eat according to those credits and to use them, then it's already paid for. You already know this is how much our food is going to cost. That's where it could really help.
Well, because in the past we have, given our kids money for food and snacks, and that money has been spent on souvenirs
Not food
instead,
and snacks.
which is, not great because we still have to feed them. So
Yeah.
we still need to buy them food. But with the dining plan, they like it's a dining plan, so
Yeah.
they have to get the food with what you've spent for food.
Yeah. You might have a follow-up question, which is, why isn't there a dining plan in Disneyland? Like most differences between Disneyland and Disney World, it almost always comes down to where their guests are from. In Disneyland, most of the guests are local, and in Disney World, most of them are tourists. I'm going to go ahead and assume there that the reason that the dining plan is such a big deal in Florida, but they don't even have one in California, is based on the factor that these are residents of the area who are in Disneyland.
Just a reminder too, you can bring in your own food and your own snacks, which is something I think is really great. Whether it helps, make someone's trip a little more affordable, or you have allergies or food restrictions, or just a really, really picky eater. It's good that you're able to bring in your own things.
Is all the food in one area, like a mall food court, or is it kind of like spread out? Where do you find the food? So I think the best way to go at this question is to talk about the different types of food, like really simple here. There are food carts, which are exactly as they sound, that are spread all throughout the walkways. They're going to have, what are you going to get at the food? All the stuff that we don't get, but like, it's going to be popcorn. It's going to be pretzels. It's going to be like beverage carts. Ice cream bars, snacks.
Don't ignore them, because every once in a while they'll have like a really cool treat in between the regular, popcorn.
And then there's the quick service places where you might mobile order or just get in a line. And think of these more like kind of good fast food kind of places. Like you're going to find your own seating wherever you can find seating. You're going to order your food mobile or in line. It's going to be simpler meals. It's going to be more of, the burgers and chicken sandwiches and salads and hot dogs and kind of like standard kind of meals you might have.
And they usually have their own kind of seating area, but you are not going to have a server. There's probably going to be some really cool, nice cast members who are going to come and clear your table before you are able to clear it yourself.
You are going to find a variety still, even in these. Just as an example, you can go to the Galactic Grill in Tomorrowland and get all the chicken tenders and burgers and fries that you want. You can then go to Avengers Campus in California Adventure Park and go to Pym Test Kitchen out of the Ant-Man movies, and you're going to find all sorts of amazing food in really strange shapes and sizes. As far as I'm concerned, it's an attraction, let alone getting into EPCOT, where you're going to go through World Showcase with all the different countries, and those restaurants are going to be amazing. And then the next level up would be like your fine dining, table service, sit-down restaurants. These would be like Blue Bayou in Disneyland Park, Space 220 in EPCOT, Cinderella's Royal Table in Magic Kingdom. These are wonderful sit-down restaurants. Some of them have character dining, so the characters will come to your table and talk to you too. Those are kind of the three levels, and they are spread all throughout the parks, and the food is just great.
Yeah, there are areas in different parks where you will have a couple different like quick service
like
places.
the Land Pavilion in Epcot will give you several places that feels like a food court.
Or all of San Francisco. I like those areas, especially if you're traveling with a group, or because you can usually get a table, and people can go to different order food from different places, so nobody has to be unhappy that, well, everybody wanted to come to this place, but I didn't want anything from here.
Do the festivals have their own food options? Yeah, they do. And we've been to several festivals. We've been at the Art Festival in Epcot, and then we were at the Pixar Fest in California Adventure Park. We're also at Food and Wine just a month or so ago. Out in California as well. They also have a Food and Wine at Epcot. That's the one more people are aware of. But they do have Food and Wine in California, which is delicious. Even if the festival has nothing to do with food in its name, like the Art Fest we went to, Festival of the Arts at Epcot, they have different food items built around the theming of art or the theming of the different cultures the art maybe came from.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of food to be had at all of these festivals. You will find festival food carts that are along the walkways that are labeled as being part of the festival. But then a lot of the restaurants that are just always there will have like one item or two items that are special. The menus will be posted for those ahead of time. So you can check what you might want to have. You can plan for what you're going to have. What is the cool trick that you can do at the festival carts?
And I didn't realize we could do this until we were done with our last trip. But when you're ready to order, you can order as many items as you want from the list of festival foods. You don't have to get them all at once. You can pay for them. You'll have your receipt. And then whenever you're ready, you will go to that kiosk or that stand and show them your receipt and you can get your food item. So that means that you only have to get in line one time and get as many food items as you want from different carts instead of having to get in line each time you want to get a piece of food.
You can get 8 food items and only get in line once and eat all day. That's a great way to save some time. All right, and the last question we're going to do is best places we've eaten. All right, so the best places we have eaten, we're going to break them down by the categories we talked about earlier, like kind of the small little food carts versus like the quick service, and then like the fine dining locations. Let's start with fine dining sit-down restaurant. What is your favorite place at a Disney park?
Cheat on this one, and I'm going to pick 2.
Oh my.
One for actual food.
Okay.
And then one for
Good, because I'm going to do the same thing.
No,
yep,
that's
I'm doing
cheating.
the same thing. Yeah, I'm stealing your good idea. I'm going to claim it as mine.
So for food, I'm going to go with La Hacienda de San Angel, which is located in EPCOT.
This is the one not in the pyramid. This is the one across the street from the pyramid.
I don't think I was expecting anything other than just good food. But this was amazing Mexican food. We had this tlayuda, which is like this giant crispy tortilla with like refried black beans and all of these other like amazing toppings. And it was ginormous. We ate it. And I just remember thinking I could have like 20 of these. Ambiance, that would be the
Lamplight Lounge.
Yes.
In California Adventure Park.
There's beautiful art everywhere you look, and there's this beautiful chandelier with like drawings hanging in the lobby when you go in, and it has delicious food. Just love sitting there. You're right by the Incredicoaster, so you hear it going off every like
across the water.
So, which I get so excited every time that thing goes by because I know whoever's in that roller coaster is about to have like a really good time.
For food, I'm going with the Blue Bayou in New Orleans Square. In the original Disneyland park. This is an amazing restaurant. It is a very tough reservation to get. I don't even remember what I had there. I just remember there was all this food on the table and all of it was just amazing. It's actually connected to the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. So while you're sitting there, you see the boats going by. Highly recommend Blue Bayou. And again, the ambiance is stunning. It is dark in there. It's nighttime. You're in a building, but you're supposed to be feeling like you're eating outdoors. It really works, especially with those boats going by. It's amazing. But to pick another one for ambiance, I'm going to go again with the same one as you, is Lamplight Lounge. Feel of that place, the views out the windows, the art on the wall that's Pixar themed, the different places you can sit, from sitting up at the bar chatting with cool cast members to having a table to being outside, more just kind of having cocktails. Gorgeous at night, the way they light up the restaurant inside and out. As far as quick service goes, which again I think is the toughest category just because there's so many of them covering such a wide range of things, I'm going to give a special shout out to places in the China Pavilion in World Showcase at EPCOT All the food over there that you can mobile order is just delicious and yummy. So I love it over there. But I'm going to give as my winner is going to be back at Disneyland Park. It's going to be Bengal barbecue for the meat sticks, which are, it's a tradition of ours. It's not just a tradition, it's a tradition because it is that good and that's how much we look forward to it. We go in the park, we turn left, and we go to get Bengal barbecue to start our day. No matter what time it is that we get to the park, we go right over there to get our meat on sticks from Bengal barbecue. So that is my favorite quick service.
I'm going to have to go with Fortune
Cookery.
Yeah.
In San Francisco Square. That's what I was that's what I would have guessed. You would have been your next choice.
Yeah. Just because that's where they have the ramen birria. They have the Baymax macaroons. They just have really, really good food.
San Francisco Square, you can't go wrong eating anywhere over there. So now to the snack carts, honorable mention to the Jack Jack Num Num cookies, which are right outside the Incredicoaster. This is partially the experience and the food. First off, the cookie is amazing, but also I always get one right when I get off the Incredicoaster. So I'm extremely happy, and now I'm about to eat a cookie. My favorite one, though, is back in Magic Kingdom, the spring roll cart, which is in Magic Kingdom. These have amazing flavors. The last time I was there, I had a cheeseburger spring roll, which I swear tasted exactly, and in a good way, tasted exactly like a McDonald's cheeseburger I had when I was a kid.
Like it was Happy Meal cheeseburger. Happy Meal cheese.
All of a sudden, it was like time travel. It was like this was a Happy Meal I had in sixth grade.
Rolled it and put it in a roll, and boom.
That's spring roll cart. But again, the tip: you have to find that cart early in the day because when they sell out, they are done.
And I think my favorite cart food is the bread cart that's in San Francisco outside of their Boudin bread factory. You can get it in like Mickey shaped, but I prefer the Baymax shaped bread. I love bread more than anything in the world. Like it's my favorite food. I love bread.
More than you love lamb.
More than I love lamb. And God knows I love lamb.
You love lamb.
But yeah, last time I bought one of those, I carried my bread around for like 2 days in my little fanny pack. And we had like gumbo the next day and like ripped off his arm and had it with my gumbo. I ate Baymax over like 2 days. I will happily buy a Baymax bread and enjoy it for my whole stay and eat it with. It goes well with so many different options at the park.
If you have other Disney dining questions you want to know about, whether it's specifically a menu or if it's just dining in general.
Because I have the palate of a 5-year-old and I want everything to taste like candy. So if you have any like favorite cocktails around the park that are really sweet and fruity and taste just like dessert, send those my way.
Yes. And thanks everybody for watching. I hope you subscribe and keep up with the rest of our videos. We talk about all this Disney stuff here. I do Disney travel, so if you are looking to do a trip, I am your free expert planner. And Marisol here, she is a
stained glass artist. So if you are looking for stained glass, let me know.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Bye. If you're wondering why we keep looking off to the left, it's because that's the direction in which our souls are exiting our body as we record longer. I mean, all of our videos are emotionally sponsored by soda.